It's another wonderful evening, and you're watching a Cuppa with Nomcebo. It's 6:30, and it's very exciting to be back on your screens once again with another exciting conversation with a dynamic Liswati. I looked around very hard, and I've asked myself, who am I going to have a conversation with and have a Cuppa with next? After featuring Fabrice Musunera, a wonderful sports journalist who happens to be a very good colleague of mine, but today I found another dynamic young man to share this space. And I know many of you know this young person that I'm talking about. I'm saying young person on purpose. Sharing the conversation with me or sharing the set with me in the studio today is none other than Nathi Gule. Nathi,
Wow.
thank you so much for joining me on a Cuppa today.
Thank you so much, Nomcebo, and hi, dear viewers. I could not resist the call. When I had the call that come have a cup, I love coffee, and I also love great conversation, so I could not say no.
Most definitely. Thank you so much. And I really love the fact that you actually got up and quickly came through. And another funny thing that I really need to mention is that, when you walked in to the studio, this young man comes walking in with his own cup. As you can see, he brought his own cup with him, his own branded Gule cup to actually have his coffee in. Well, what can I say? We're pushing that brand, hey?
Pushing the brand and also the size of the cup
Yeah.
for the coffee. I need my coffee in a bigger cup.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's cheers to that.
All right, cheers.
Great. Thanks for coming through.
No, fantastic. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it. I just want to introduce you properly. So I'm just going to take a little extract here that I have about who Nathi Gule is, because there's quite a lot, trust me. I'm just going to steal a little snippet of it about Nathi. This young man sitting next to me, looking all dashing today, is a speaker that has traveled over countless countries and 4 continents for study tours to strengthen his speaking acumen. He researches daily and is loved by audiences for his ability to be sharp, clear, eloquent, with a deep voice, great stage presence, and interactivity. There's a lot that I can say about Nathi. He's into events, emceeing. I know that you work with quite a number of, NGOs and companies.
Business mentoring.
Yes, business mentoring. You're a consultant. It goes on and on and on. How do you get that all done in just 24 hours?
It's simple time management, and as Stephen Covey says, the things that matter the most must never be at the mercy of the things that matter the least. So that's how I juggle my day. I have my time management matrix, and I see this call, is it urgent, or can it wait while I finish off this?
Right.
And so on and so forth. And it's either you run the day or the day runs you. Those are just simple mantras I use to be able to pack things into a day and be productive.
Wow. That sounds very amazing. But, before we actually just get into that and delve deeper into what you are currently busy with, I know this Nathi from way back. When you first, came up and the first time you got to know about Nathi Gule, I believe you started off as a journalist, working for one of our local newspapers. I think I could say the Times, if I'm correct. Would like to speak to that.
Before that, 19 years old, I was a TV producer for something called Ultimate TV Productions, and I remember the very first time my advert played on Eswatini TV. I had to look for a TV somewhere in the middle of the night, and I stood there in awe watching this advert. It was Shark Cellular, actually, and cell phones were bouncing about.
Right.
I was so proud. Eh?
Thanks for reminding me of that, because you know what, a lot of people actually don't know, where local TV comes from, Ultimate Production,
Yes.
That was just, the beginning of local production companies or broadcasters being born, that was the first one, and a great man actually was behind, that company, Kawemamba.
Yeah.
Take us back. Interesting.
Yeah, no, it was very interesting, fresh from school and looking for an opportunity. Had a dream to be a journalist. That dream took what's this thing called? It's not a detour, but it took a speed hump.
Right.
And I found myself not being accepted because of size or whatever at the varsity. I don't remember the terminology they used. I wanted to do journalism.
Right.
But then while in that confused state, this opportunity to join Ultimate TV came up. And while there, the most interesting thing is that it then converted into a TV station. And we were part of that crew that started. And you can imagine by 19, I was already on Style. I was being profiled. By the age of 21, I was a nominee among the most stylish broadcasting people.
Come on now.
Yeah, and we used to follow you on Coca-Cola WhatsApp. But my love though was always print journalism. So I had to bow out of TV and I had to rush into my dream of being a writer.
Right.
So I got an opportunity at the entertainment section of the Times. And that's where I got to to then freely express myself.
Freely
I was a writer. So from there, I went from entertainment, head of Manzini Bureau of Times. I became assistant news editor, then I became news editor. I traveled different countries, Germany, Taiwan, US. And at some point, I felt, wow, I just want to explore the consultancy space.
Right.
So I left the Times, opened my own company called Eswatini Multimedia. It's 12 years old now, and I'm enjoying the journey.
Quite a lot, but just taking you back, to when you went into print media, during the Times. I remember at the time, that is when, writing and speaking freely, freedom of press, started, being put into place, and being practiced. And I believe that you are one of those journalists, including Mbongeni Mbingo.
Yes.
And I remember we would be so afraid to open the newspaper and go to that entertainment section too, because, oh my goodness, what is the gossip today? Did I make it? Am I there? So you were one of those journalists, who used to just print hard-hitting information. That's it. It's there. This is what's happening, which is what people call Umukosi today. That, and then, that's what you did at Bingo's Jive, and then you had your collar, boxed up, and that was crazy moments, trust me.
Not really.
We used to have a lovely relationship for you guys. I don't want to lie.
I'll divorce myself from Sin and Head because it was a ghost writing. Yeah. That was ghost writing, people contributing into it, random people. But I had boxed up looking into the TV sector and what could be done better. Yeah. I remember I once wrote about a newsreader who was reading Slouching. And I said, sit up, you're pretty, you are well-spoken, but just sit up.
Right.
So the next time I watched the news, she was sitting up. And it was just more of encouraging excellence and meeting international standards. And that's the only thing you can do for your country is to just encourage standards to be met.
Yeah, just to nudge people towards the right direction.
It's business, nothing personal.
True. Let's just talk about what you're doing currently. It is quite a lot, It's the consultancy, it is the networking. Mentoring. If you can just, the mentoring, if you can just unpack that for us as to what does it really entail?
All right, I run a company, and then that company does public relations, and it also does marketing, social media, digital, just basic brand journalism as well, putting brands out into the newspapers, into the media. I've been doing that for 12 years. Some very good clients there. I've had long-term relationships with. But then because there's the business, then there's also the personal brand. Then the personal brand is Nathi Gule, who is a business mentor. I mentor lots of young people under Junior Achievement Eswatini and other platforms. I think the highlight of my mentoring was when I had to be assessed on a global level.
Right.
For the Entrepreneurship World Cup. They were looking for mentors. So I applied, and lots of mentors applied from Eswatini, and I was picked with Patrick Masararimbe from Lulode to represent Eswatini.
Wow.
So ideally, I would have flown to wherever they were, but it was COVID times. So online, you'd be sitting with multi-millionaires and dollar millionaires, and they'd be talking about why they've joined in to become a mentor. And then there was also me there saying...
And how did that feel, being in that particular space? I think that's big, big privilege. How did that feel?
It felt amazing, and it felt to say the standards of business, the standards of life in general, they're all the same. They apply globally.
Right.
So if a Leswati can go in and mentor people from around the world,
Right.
it says a lot about the quality of business in the country
Right.
for us to be recognized. So yeah, there I was mentoring people from Algeria, Europe, and I had guys from Argentina. The guys from Argentina, out of top 100, they made it to the top 25. And I was mentoring them direct.
What is the process that you go through when speaking of this mentoring process?
Yeah,
so
it's
you're sitting
mentoring,
there,
mentoring.
yeah. So what is it really? What does it entail?
It's simple. You have a startup business. They have never gone the whole process. They're smart, they're bright, they've got resources, they've got everything, but they don't know what to do next.
Right.
And they don't know what the next 4 or 5 years looks like. And here you are with a business that's 10 years old. And you are able to then tell them that, you know what, you are now at this stage and this is what's likely to happen. Make sure these things are in order because now your business has grown this far. You need a separate business account, personal account. You're just taking them through and guiding them. A mentor is just a guide. So with them, they'd also share their business plans, business canvas, and I'd guide them through. And I'd also coach them in terms of pitching, just to tell them tone of voice, pause here, be faster here, express excitement, look at your person in the eye. And those things helped. The guys from Argentina, when they made it into the top 25, they wrote on LinkedIn, thanking everyone. And then they said, Nathi Gule from Eswatini, our mentor. So you can just imagine, Eswatini is not so tiny.
You know, that is amazing. And what I really admire about you, Nathi, is just the humbleness behind even your persona. Because what we normally associate so much success, you know, and the beautiful work that you are doing, we expect that it should be done by a certain looker, a certain human being. We have this image in our heads that we have that it should be this big guy in a big car, in a big corner office. But it's not that complicated. You don't have to be that. You just need to have the passion. Am I correct?
100%. It's just passion, dedication, and most importantly, discipline. And just knowing your purpose as well will keep you grounded. And knowing that it's not about your personal glory. You're not doing it for applause. You're doing it for a cause. So it's not applause, it's a cause. So once you get that into your head, you know it's not about you. It's always about the final product.
Right.
I work with many young people and they ask, what can I do for you? And I say, what you can do for me is keeping that business sustainable, making sure you do your bookkeeping properly, and you keep your records, receipts. That's what you can do for me. I don't need money.
And speaking of you working with young people, I know you've been working with Junior Achievement, and you've, you know, taken some great strides, you know, with your attachment with Junior Achievement. I know that you've also been honored, you know, by Junior Achievement. You want to share that information with us?
Yeah, I was honored by Merit D. Sibugo Serenity Foundation. It was quite an epic moment because I was branded the most outstanding community ambassador. So what I loved about it was the Minister of Tinkunja's first assignment. And there I was being honored as the #1 community developer kind of vibe. And it felt good, you know, to just finally get a bit of recognition for all the work you do.
I can
because
imagine.
we do it for 99% of the time.
It's just the dedication and the passion, as you said. On that positive note and on that winning note, we are going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to speak to Nathi about his involvement, you know, with not only just mentoring young people, but also just motivating them and make them, you know, see things from a big perspective. We'll be right back. watching A Cuppa with Nomcebo, and today I'm having a conversation with Nathi Gule, and it's been very enlightening and very motivating. And I think I know who my mentor is now. You know, you will have to help me, you be my mentor, guide me and let me grow, because I really want to get to the level that you're in mentally, you know, and spiritually. So I just want us just to quickly talk about your involvement with young people. I'm very passionate, you know, when it comes to young people, and just motivating them and helping them see the bigger picture in life. Because I feel that our young people are born in an era that comes with so many challenges.
Aish.
Technology, you know, and what they're exposed to. It's no longer the same as the way we grew up.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So how far do you go in terms of helping out these young people?
I always picture myself, and Nomcebo, at the age of 16, 17, and wondering what I would have done had I met someone who shared a lot of information and really took time to guide and mentor me and show me this, that, and also just to bounce off ideas of that person. And I've decided I want to be that person to other young people.
Nice.
And also, I think it happens okay now because I've been through it. I've made the mistakes. And I'm telling a person of practical solutions. You know, I was speaking to a group from church that's under 18, and I was telling them that, you know, you'd love to say, let me just taste alcohol once. But the reality is it's never once, and people never come back. So I was telling them that chances of coming back are very slim.
Yes.
So just don't do it. And I'm speaking from an informed position. I'm not guessing. So you really want to help people out in that regard. This is the future generation.
Yes.
And like I say, we just need that one person to come out and reach out. And it's fulfilling to see young people change, to see young people go into business. I have hundreds of stories that I can tell about how people have taken that seed planted. So imagine if each and every one of us, even in the studio, was to talk to one young person, would change the whole country, because they'd all be so positive and positive-minded.
I guess, you know, that's why we do the things that we're doing right now. You know,
we're reaching out to
which
more.
for me, you know, it's also this show, you know, it's just to extend, you know, this platform, you know, to the young people and to anyone that's broken right now. Like, you know what, there's hope out there, you know, you just need to meet people such as yourself, you know, that can actually remind you of your purpose, you know, because we all have a purpose in life, and another purpose that you are serving is through your podcast.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Very exciting. I know you've had 8 episodes of a very powerful show. Please do share.
It was a wonderful experience. We partnered with a production house called Tribe Studios. And
magnificent production company.
Yeah, no, they're the stuff of movies. So we went into a concept that started off from a book that I wrote, 21 Days of Positivity, during COVID, where every post was negative. And I said, I'm taking on a challenge to post positive for 21 days. Then I converted that into a book. So now we decided, no, let's get in people to also share their positivity. So we had great people there. Sharon Mazia, we had a psychologist, we had a spiritual session of it, we had career, we had positivity and opportunities out there. It was really a nice, frank discussions and helping out the young person. For example, we had a topic with Sharon and saying, how come I'm applying every day and they're not taking me? But Monday morning, somebody will be getting a job.
Yes.
And she was explaining the dynamics. And she said people have an attitude. You could be applying everywhere, but you just don't have the right energy. Yeah, your energy just...
Okay, that's new.
Yeah,
okay.
And she was saying, you know, even when we see the CV, everybody has a CV. But do you have the attitude and the will to work and to go the extra mile? Are you a dream employee? You know, just attitude-wise. She even made an example to say, when they're looking for someone, sometimes they say, do you remember the one who was carrying chairs? The one who was rushing out, that nice, pleasant young lady. And you got a job. But if you're walking around stuck up, chances are very limited.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it speaks volumes. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So are we going to be getting another episode soon from you?
100%. There's a great demand. There are a lot of guests that have asked to come in. They want to share their stories with the young people. They want to impart the positivity because it's all on the foundation of being a positive mindset from the power of positive thinking by Robert Neal. That just says for you to do anything, you first have to capture it in the mind and capture it positively,
right.
and then you'll have positive outcomes. So, yeah, we will be announcing soon
we're
our
looking
next
forward
session.
to that, and hopefully, it actually goes to the bigger screens. People watch it from home. So that's the dream, that's the plan. But because we speak positiveness, it's gonna happen.
Manifest.
Yes, we manifest positively.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the spiritual side of things because you're very active as well. I follow you, on social media, and I see you standing on the pulpit, now and then,
Don't preach,
giving
no.
out those sessions. But it's very interesting and very encouraging. When I saw it, it really touched me, and I really appreciated it. That not only do we see you in the big conferences where you're speaking to the big CEOs, to the business makers, those huge consultants, but you also take the time to also share your skill, on the pulpit. Very, very dynamic. Please do share. Give us more information about that. How's that going for you?
I think from an early age, like most Maswati, we're really a Christian nation, primarily or predominantly, and I believe everything that happens in my life. I got a WhatsApp message yesterday. I posted something on my status, and then someone says, "You're doing very well," and I said, "I'm not doing well. It's God doing very well through me."
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the talent you have and the skills you have, they are all God-given. And if you shine, it's only because God wants people to know why you can get ahead through Him, And I've followed those principles, seek the kingdom of God and everything will follow. I've followed that. And I've discovered many, many times that there's actually a funny meme. Or it's not a meme, it's just a picture. It says, when my friends are going through problems and they're asking for an answer, then it's got a big picture of a Bible. It says, I just give them the Bible. So you'll find everything there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that has been my journey, I think, for the past 20 years or so. I've just really been embedded in believing that it is the light under your feet. It will guide you. It will tell you bad energy. It will tell you can walk here, you can't walk here. It's a light under your feet. And I encourage many people, and I'm happy you see it online. I don't do much. It's just announcements here and there at church. But I'm encouraged when people see those posts.
Yeah.
And some say, I'm looking for a church. Can I come to your church?
Yes.
And I think in
It
the
sends
space
a
of
message,
6 months, I've had about 10 people coming because they also feel like, okay, actually church is cool. If you're doing it, then it means it's cool. But church is cool, though.
Church is cool. No, that's great. Look, to that viewer sitting at home right now, we've had very interesting, conversation, the energy. You've got everything worked out, your mentoring, your businesses, you speak success, The Nathi Gule, after everything. Who's that guy? After everything.
Nathi Gule is an extroverted introvert. Primarily, I love my space. I love to close myself in. I love creativity. Anything creative, you'll find me on it on YouTube. Good book, good PDF. That's me. I love good English. I follow good English everywhere. I love self-development. I'm huge on self-development. I completed a course on brand and marketing management. And,
Lovely.
And I was top of the class in SA. Just last year, and I'm all about continuous learning. I don't believe I know it all.
Right.
I love to listen to other people. I want to hear their views, and there's always something to learn.
Like, I love listening to you, and this half an hour has unfortunately run out, and there's so much to talk about, Nathi, and that you do a lot of work, and I feel that we need to invite you back on the show, and speak more, because I feel that there's still a lot that you need to actually share, with the public, share with Emma Swati. This show is about bringing people like you that it will leave that viewer, you know, with some sense of hope and just wanting to get up the following morning and be like, you know what, it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Let me get out there.
Yeah.
So for that, I would like to share this beautiful gift with you,
That's so
courtesy
cute.
of our wonderful friends from Eswatini Candles.
Oh,
I'd
nice.
like to share this candle with you.
Thank
I
you
share
so
these
much.
with my guests
Thank you
because
so much.
this is it just shows and tells who you are. You're a light, you know, in this kingdom, in the universe, and continue shining that light. Let it might remind you every day of the role that you are playing in the public and in people's lives. And with that, I'd like to say thank you very much for joining me on the show and for having a cuppa with me. And until next week, Monday, stay blessed. It's a love and light.